Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Krashy, and today we're going to be messing around with Hoopa in the practice range. Now, the game is like bugged or the event's not working right and you can't play it. I don't know what's going on exactly. This update feels a little buggy, but we're going to mess around with Hoopa and just kind of give some thoughts and just play around a little bit. So I haven't really looked at any of the moves yet. I kind of watched the trailer and that's about it. So let's go ahead and take a look and we're just going to mess around. So Astonish, that's kind of cool. That's cool. You have some ranged attacks. Nice little triple boosted. Really interesting. I like that. I like the whole portal gimmick. Really cool. Got some nice range to it. I'm rocking a muscle band at the moment. Let's see what the confusion does. Kind of about what you would expect, I suppose. Alright. Okay, so a little AoE pulse. Alright, some pretty interesting stuff. I like that. Do you just legit just yoink the nearest berry on cooldown? I think so, because I think it got the other one, which is so crazy. Alright, let me slow smoke this homie. Alright, let me turn his attacks off. That's so crazy. That passive is so interesting. Alright. Like I said, I really just want to move around a little bit. Okay, we gotta get you out of here, Budge. Alright, so now we have Hyperspace Hole, which is the move that I understand, because I watched it. And we're gonna mess around with that. So Hyperspace Hole, obviously, the move that you can create a portal and you can go back to the base. You can chill in here for a little bit, and then you can press R and return, or you can create a tethered goal between your other lane. And you press R, I guess? Wait, I don't know why it's not sending me to the other lane. I'm confused. Do I need to not be standing on it first? Alright, so I stand on it, I press R, it sends me to the other lane. And how long does that stay open for? Okay. So for like a decent amount of time. Can you go back? I need to know if you can go back. Can you go back through? Oh, it's on cooldown. Like I'm on cooldown for... So even though I had it up, you can't just jump back and forth between it. So it's like, it's a decision. So like, now I go through, and you can see, it says, whole effect cannot warp during cooldown. Okay, so I can't warp because I've already done it. Alright. It's going to be really interesting stuff that happens with this character. The metagame is going to change, the macro play. Again, let me just yoink a berry real quick. That's so good for potential healing. On cooldown, stealing berries. Do they have to have one up for it to work? You know what I mean? Let's look. I guess they would, huh? Let's see. I want to physically see it. I want to see it work in action. Let's look at the scoring animation, because why not? That's cool. Alright, now I have a decision to make. Phantom Force or Shadow Ball? Shadow Ball, Phantom... Let's try the Phantom Force. Oh wait, that's the wrong ability. Alright, and I wanna look at the berry steal really quickly. You just create a berry? So that's a little confusing to me, but that's really cool. Alright, and what does Phantom Force do? So it's targeted, you do damage, and you jump back. Really interesting. I wonder if this has any potential to use on allies. Huh. I need to read all this character's actual abilities. Should probably do that at some point. This character just seems so very interesting. And then, of course, the Unite move, which looks crazy. Kind of like a mime wall. And then, of course, your teammates can teleport through this. You get new abilities, so it really is this crazy big thing. And it lasts a good while. This is crazy for a team fight. I mean, it seems like it does crazy damage, right? And it may not do ridiculous damage, but you never know. Let's do anything. Send you back to the base. Okay, so you can't do anything on their goal. Just, you know, just testing things out. I like this. You can kind of engage, jump out. Interesting. I need to try the other abilities now, of course. I love that you can just get heals off this. Like, such an interesting passive. Supporter character, maybe, depending on the damage that the character can do. Maybe could be played as an attacker. Maybe, you know? Maybe could be used in 2-2 top lane, so that way you stop the 1-1-3. You play this character in the top lane. Slow down the Lucario, try to secure your own side farm. This character has some potential to really slow the game down, I think, a little bit. Because the whole 1-1-3 meta, like, it may not work when you have a character that can get this at level 4 and, you know what I mean? Like, jump to the other lane and be a presence and come in and fight, you know? Be there really quickly for, you know, bees. And then rotate out, you know? This is going to get really, really interesting. Like I said, I think the craziest thing is going to be the metagaming this character. Alright, I'm going to go quickly read these moves, and then we're going to try the other side build. Alright, so we're back inside the Pokemon selection. It says, in battle, let's look at Magician. So in battles, where the map is divided into an ally team side and opposing team side, the ability creates a hole under one of the berries of the opposing team side, chosen at random, and warps it right in front of Hoopa. So you do steal one. There are no berries on the opposing team side, but there is Eos energy on the ground, and some energy is warped in front of Hoopa instead. So you can steal energy. In the event that no berries from the opposing team side were warped, the cooldown of the abilities this ability's next use is reduced. Nice. So you can actually use this just to grab energy as well. So let's go ahead and read Phantom Force, because this is the one I was curious about, if you could use this on allies. Hoopa creates or actually, let's read Astonish really quickly. Deal damage to an opposing Pokemon does in their area of effect, leaving them unable to act for a short time. Oh, so it's actually a hindrance. Nice. Hoopa creates a ring under itself and warps to a designated Pokemon's location, dealing damage to nearby opposing Pokemon at that location and shoving them. Hoopa then shoots 2 sinister flames that deal damage to opposing Pokemon they hit and decrease their movement speed for a short time. This move can be used within a second time within a set amount of time. It's used a second time. Hoopa can return to the initial cooldown or initial location where it warped from. So creates a ring under itself. It warps to a designated Pokemon's location, dealing damage to a nearby opposing Pokemon. So wait, it doesn't say that you can't use this on allies. I wonder if you can use this on allies. Shadow Ball, range move. I haven't used this one yet. I'll mess around with. As the user unleash a shadowy blob in front of itself, dealing damage to opposing Pokemon it hits and decreasing their movement speed and SP defense for a short time. If the user then hits the same opposing Pokemon with a move or boosted attack within a set amount of time, it deals additional damage to the opposing Pokemon and leaves them unable to act for a short time. Oh, that sounds good. That just sounds like poke damage that has like a hindrance tied to it. This one's kind of like a dash hindrance. I wonder if you can use this on an ally. Oops, didn't mean to do that. All right, Confusion. I want to read it. Has the user unleash a telekinetic force in the designated direction, dealing damage to the first opposing Pokemon it hits. The telekinetic force clings to that Pokemon and then causes a delayed explosion. The explosion deals damage to opposing Pokemon in the area of effect and decreases their movement speed. So this is the really good early game abilities, it sounds like. We understand Hyperspace Hole, but Hoopa creates a large ring at the designated location, dealing damage to opposing Pokemon in the area of effect. After a set amount of time, Hoopa and an ally Pokemon in the area will either return to the base and their movement speed will be increased for a short time. An ally Pokemon that returned to their base in this manner must wait a short time before the HP recovery from being at the base triggers. These ally Pokemon can also warp back to where the large ring was created. And intact ally forward gold zone can also be the designated location where the large ring is created. Creating the ring of the forward goal zone on top path will also create a ring on the forward goal zone of the bottom path, and vice versa. All ally Pokemon, including Hoopa, can use these rings to warp between the 2 goal zones, and their movement speed will be increased for a short time after warping. After an ally Pokemon warps, there's a set cooldown before the ally can use the rings again. If it's a path forward goal zone is destroyed, the middle goal zone on the same path will take its place. This move cannot be used on base goal zones. Okay. Upgrade is also increased the movement speed of an ally Pokemon. Okay. Did I not scroll down far enough for the upgrades? I don't know if I did. Makes the user invincible for a short time when its move is used. Oh my gosh. Wait a minute. What? When using this move, if there's a nearby ally Pokemon linked by trick, this move will also unleash a shadowy blob at the same time at this location. Wait, what? Shadowy blob will now explode before it disappears. Opposing Pokemon hit by the explosion are affected as they were hit by the shadowy blob itself. These moves sound so good. They sound so good. And then I haven't even read Trick yet. Hoopa creates a link between itself and an ally Pokemon using a ring, increasing both of their movement speeds and granting them each a shield for a short time. When Hoopa uses Shadowy Blob or performs a basic attack, the ring on the linked Pokemon also unleashes the same move or attack. Hoopa can also use this move on itself, increasing Hoopa's movement speed and granting itself a shield for a short time. Additionally, it increases the damage dealt by Shadow Ball. Also restores the linked ally Pokemon HP when it deals damage to opposing Pokemon. This sounds like it could be really good, depending on how strong it is, but Hyperspace Hole is going to be like meta-defining, right? It's the actual global, or part of the global presence that the character brings. But who knows? It really just depends on how strong Trick is. And then, of course, the Unite move. Change to Hyperspace, you just transform, essentially. Can't score goals or activate its ability. This is crazy. This character's so crazy. All right, let's jump back in really quickly, and we're going to mess around a little bit with the other moveset. And yeah, I don't know. This character just seems so interesting. I have to say, I'm already considering the idea of like jungling this character, depending on how strong it is. It could be like a really interesting presence to have. Obviously, in lane, it's crazy, but also you never know, right? You never know what kind of crazy strategies you get. Roaming Hoopa kind of strategy, invading Hoopa, where you base and do all kinds of weird things. You never know what you're going to get with characters like this. Let's go ahead and go up to 9. So we're going to try Trick and Shadow Ball and our Unite move. Alright, so Trick. I don't have an ally, so I mean, Shadow Ball really is a Shadow Ball. It feels like Shadow Ball. This is very interesting. The character almost feels like an attacker. Huh. This build feels interesting, you know? This character, I think, is going to be so unique and interesting. I don't even know what to say about this character, really. It just feels like it just needs to be experimented with. This is one of those characters that is going to change the game in a big way if it does turn out to be that it's, like, decent, right? Like, assuming that the damage feels good and that, you know, like, it could be put in unique positions, like, maybe you do support this, maybe you do force 2-1-2, or put this in jungle and have some kind of crazy presence. You know, maybe you run really supporty teams where you do use this as an attacker, and you play, like, Trick Shadow Ball, and you know what I mean? Like, you're bringing, like, an attack version of this, and you don't even play the global presence, you're playing for the Unite move, you know what I mean? It's gonna get very interesting, though. This is also very interesting. Very interesting. I need to see the objective ability. And like scalings, we don't understand scalings, right? Like, cause yeah, like maybe Muscle Band's great on it and all, but like you never know. If the scaling is decent, you could maybe throw some choice specs on this character and yeah, I don't know. There's just so much to consider. So much to consider. I'm going to bring my cooldown back, and I want to see what like killing a Dread looks like. Potentially, I'm already a little over leveled because you would never be this high level going into first Dread. So it kind of is what it is, but I'm honestly just in testing mode, you know. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right. I want to see. Maybe I'll even ult it at some point. I mean, like, I'm a level over, but honestly, this damage isn't terrible. Like, if you're ripping like this, you know what I mean? And it doesn't feel bad. Like I said, I'm over leveled. Like, this would be like if you were ahead, you know? You definitely have to try, like, we might try like a Zapdos Secure with like Side Beam. This seems like it does some good damage. This, honestly, this character just seems like it's gonna bring a lot to the table. I don't know. I don't really know if I see this taking like LD Spy, but this character feels like it could just be an attacker. With like, you know what I mean? Like less emphasis on just like crazy burst. But like it still seems like it does good damage. It's like I'm having a hard time seeing like, why not just run this character as an attacker maybe? I don't know. It's way too early for me to know basically anything at all. Which is crazy to feel like that because this character obviously has such a unique kit. And it's challenging the way that we know how to play the game, right? You know what I mean? So wait. If the tier 1 goals are gone, can you even still spawn berries? Or does this just like taper off? Because there gets a point where there are no berries, right? Very, very interesting. So, I don't know. I just wanted to mess around with the character for now. I don't really know what else to say about it yet. There's really like way more testing than I could possibly do here that needs to happen to have any kind of a strong understanding about the character and know how to use it optimally. I think a lot about this character, especially with like the portals and things like that, is that there's a lot of macro that can happen with this character. So it's going to come down to like what the character can actually do, how good can it actually be, and then what can people do with it. So friends, thank you so much for watching. I don't even know, I just wanted to mess around with it since it's not playable just yet, but we do have it in the game. Thank you so much. Drop a comment, drop a like on the video if you wouldn't mind. Tell me what you're thinking, what ideas you're having, what build path you think you're gonna play, and when we get some scalings, we'll talk about it more. But as always, friends, thank you so much. Be sure to be kind to one another. Tell someone that you love them, and I'll see you in the next video.